Hello, 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 and welcome to Bub's World. I'm your host, Bub, and today we're going to get into some comics. I got a huge Golden Age win from MyComicShop.com auctions. So that's the one that they have every Monday night. This was their Prime auction. I think it was back in April. So they do about once a quarter. They do a Prime auction, and that's where all the big books come out. And they're like, you know, oh my God, you gotta get this, you gotta get that. You know, and they send out emails about everything that they have coming up and some feature focused collections. So it's really my favorite time to shop. Sometimes the prices get a little crazy because like I generally shop these Prime auctions every month, or I shop these auctions every week generally. But in the Prime auctions, it's like somebody rings a bell and all the big collectors, if you will, come out to hunt. And when that happens, sometimes you don't get everything you're looking for, but hey, at least you know you have good taste. So without further ado, let's get right to it.
You're watching Bub's Comics, Bub.
All right. So, like I said, I was in the MyComicShop.com heat of the Prime auction, and I made a vow to myself that I was only going to get Golden Age books. So 2022 was the year of original art. So I picked up a ton of original art, and that was really, I picked up like 7 or 8 new pieces for the, actually, golly, I picked up like 10 pieces in 2022 and then bleeding into 2023 a little bit. But 2023 has been the year of Golden Age. I'm rededicating myself to my Golden Age collection, really stepping up my game, picking up some runs and trying to fill in some gaps that I've had going on. You know, you've been following along with me on this journey for years now, and really some of these runs are just, I've been hunting them for so long that it's not that I want to finish them so I can be done. I just want to feel some progress, you know? Sometimes you pick up a run, you get jaded because you're like, oh, I can't complete this run. I can't get to it. And Golden Age runs, there's an extra level of, you may never see this book, you know? You may never find it. So hopefully I got a stack of books here that'll please you as much as it pleases me. So let's make me small and get to the haul. Yo! All right, that was a smooth one. Hey, sometimes, you know, smoother than others. All right, so first off, we're gonna hit hard. We're gonna take a big punch out of the skies with Captain Midnight, number 46. Look at that. Someone told me that I have to hold it like this. There you go. To block that piece missing right there. But really love this book. Now let's see if I have, yeah, here it is. Let's see if them there long arms of the bub can reach. So I had just picked up this book, and my wife and I were celebrating, and we went down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I'll have a haul. I did a little bit of shopping down there. But anyway, we went down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Pigeon Forge area and all that good stuff. And I found a deck of cards that says it's for comic art cards, and look at the cover. That's the box art. Isn't that great? So now you can get an idea of what the real coloring should be. Should be that red, but we'll take orange in place of red and Golden Age all day long. So isn't that neat to have a little like deck of cards there with the same thing that your comic has? So I thought that was pretty cool, and I had just bought this, just got it, and so I was pretty pleased about that. So yeah, Captain Midnight number 46. So very nice. We are super pleased with that. It's a nice big heavy book too. It's thick. All right, next up, you guys know I'm after these Planet Comics. What other way is there to say it other than this is the year, man? I've been picking up a bunch of them. I haven't picked up this many Planet Comics since my first year hunting this title. So up next, we've got Planet Comics number 45. Check that out. I love it. Look at the wingtip shoes. Outstanding. You got the monsters holding the frequently shaped, we'll just say it's usually on these Planet covers, there's some sort of spaceship shaped like this. But anyway, boy, that guy needs a pedicure. Look at that. Holy moly. Goodness gracious. Who's digging it? Can you dig it? I can dig it. You can dig it. We can dig it. Look at that. Planet Comics. Good color on it. She got the flamethrower. I like when they place them in front of the trade dress. I think that's really cool. She's blasting at him with that like blowtorch, handgun, shotgun situation. She's got torpedoes, a bear. Very nice. And I like the wingtip boots. There you go, Planet Comic 45. We are all over this run. We are knocking down the door of having this thing finished. So exciting. All right, here's Planet Comics 55. So jump 10 ahead. Look at that. And this was a big book for me because I have a lot of the surrounding books. So I like when I get that one book that fills in the gap. I don't know if you all use that CLZ app or how many of you do, but I use the CLZ app and it's really neat. So like they'll do a line of how many issues you have in the run, and then they'll have like little commas and spaces for the ones you're missing. So when you get one that completes a series, like the one that's in the middle between 5 or 6 others, and then it completes the run across, it's really satisfying to see that list just shrink down that much more. There we go. Planet Comics number 55. Look at that. Mista of the Moon. There's another frequently. That. Got some guys fighting in the background. Nice little Fang Man throwing that. The air must have been breathable. I like her little skirt she's got on, the jacket with the stitching. See what attention to detail they put in that? Isn't that neat? All the stitching that they put through there. The shape of the jacket, how it contours. The way that they use simple lines. One of my favorite things about Golden Age is the use of heavy ink, like hard, thick lines, like around everyone, you know, and the use of simple lines to make contoured shapes. Look at how nice that hair looks. I mean, you just don't get that. She's got like a little helmet on. That's really some detail there that modern comics. I'm not a hater, like when it comes to modern stuff, and I collect some modern stuff, you guys know that, but there's just something about the Golden Age art style that intrigues me and keeps me coming back for more. And that's got all of it right there. I just love that silhouette and the lines and the colors and the shadows. It's just so good. It's so good, so good, so good. All right. Switching gears a little bit to the jungle, we got Lorna, the Jungle Girl, number 7. Check that out. This copy's a little rough, but I didn't pay too much for it. I won all these. I was sweating. I got a Heroes Con coming up. I got Collectors Summit in Dallas in November. I was wondering if I was going to be able to sneak into BaltCon at some point. I think that's in September. So here I am. I spent like half of what I wanted to spend at Heroes Con. I brought, you know, or again, I should say. So half my budget that I had for all of Heroes Con, I spent in the April auction. I just couldn't help myself, because if I saw these books at the prices that I got them, I'd have bought them immediately. So I just saved myself a little bit of legwork. Look at that, Lorna, the Jungle Girl. That outstanding tiger. That's good. That's good stuff. Little bare feet for you toe counters. All right. Stand up there. All right. Now, you all know I love Wally Wood. I was going to say my favorite Golden Age artist. I sure do like Joe Doolin, Maurice Whitman, L.B. Cole. I mean, of course, Matt Baker, Alex Schomburg. I mean, there's so many great Golden Age artists. But when I think of someone that I'm just like, if I could have an original piece of art from any one of those people, I would probably choose Wally Wood, even though I probably would have to spend more to get like an LB Cole original piece or a Schomburg original piece. But for my personal collection, if I could have a Wally Wood original piece, that would be like a very close to the top, if not the top highlight in my collection. So here's a nice Weird Science Fantasy number 23. Great piece by Wally Wood. The book's a little rough, but what's nice about this is that they have these borders. Like, and when they switched from Weird Science to Weird Science Fantasy, they often had this like rocket border that went around it. And some people complain about it because it takes so much of the art space away. But for a low grade collector, that means most of the junk and beat up parts and, you know, foxing and writing and all that stuff isn't on the main picture. So you end up getting a lot of nice, clean, complete representations of the art because of that border, giving it that kind of protection. So check this out. This guy's suit did not hold up to the crash. These guys are going under. You got some mean jellyfish, some interesting fish going on there. There's the nice Wally Wood signature. Look at that. Looks like they did not mean to crash here. Who knows where they meant to crash? There's Weird Science Fantasy number 23. This one I absolutely love. It's my favorite cover in the Weird Science Fantasy run. Now there's some Weird Science, right? Just Weird Science books that I really love and would love to have. And I have some favorites in there too. Interesting enough, one of which is a Wally Wood cover. But this one is my favorite of the Weird Science Fantasy run. And it's Wally Wood with number 27. And this has it all. Now, the top has a little bit of like, you know, whatever. I guess you'd call it foxing, staining. The rocket looks pretty clean. Staples are good. Look at that art. Man. Think he's jealous? Look at that green-eyed monster. Oh, that's awesome. Here he is. Look at what they did with all his hair and everything. Fuzzies, whatever the heck those are. He's got the guy gripped. He's not going anywhere. This dude's shooting him in the mouth with his ray gun. He's just slobbering all over the place, trying to get away. Looks like he's made up like worm type monster with a bunch of like arms with hooks on them and claws. And what a beautiful, that's Wally Wood right there. Look at the fantastic work he's done there with the helmet, the breathing apparatus, the headphones. Don't see those too often. She's trying to escape, but I don't think it's gonna work out for Wally Wood right there. I gotta tell you, that's fantastic. I just love it. I just love it. I mean, this is close to the best book of the haul if it were not for this next book. And it's almost a toss-up, but I sure love this book. And so happy to have that in the collection. The Golden Age year has really been good to me this year. I've made some great choices, if you will, what to buy, when to buy it, always hunting deals. Everything I've bought this year has been far below its value. I've been really just targeting these books and making a focused effort and learning. You have to really learn. You have to know what the book is worth. You have to know how readily it's available, how often it comes up, and what the average price is trending at. You don't have to make charts and all that kind of stuff, although some of us do. You don't have to do all that, but you just have to kind of know it. That way, when you see a book that you've been after and someone tells you the condition and the price, you don't have to look anything up. You just know what the value is and you know whether it's good or bad. That, coupled with being able to grade books, is those things are what keep the cost of collecting at market value at best. you know, or I should say at worst, because if you don't know those things and you're just out there willy-nilly, then you're going to end up overspending on 2 books and leaving 2 more books on the table because you ran out of cash. So you don't want to do that. So it's all about learning. And, you know, you can watch my channel, you can watch, there's lots of channels that will show you, you know, kind of what you need to know when looking for books, and just give you general, like, I don't try and get real specific. I give general tips and tricks, things to keep in your mind when you're out there hunting, things to keep in your mind when you're even shopping online. That's kind of what I do. That's what I prefer. So when you think of Bub, think just the tip. All right. So now we got Man of Mars, #1. Maurice Whitman coming in hot. This gives me Star Trek, the original series vibes all day with that beautiful green lady right there. Oh man. Well, I said beautiful. It's more of a Monet, right? So like from back here, it's looking pretty good, and you get up close, it's a hot mess. Boy, she looks mean and tough, but he looks happy about it. Oh, Maurice Whitman, he draws very strong jaw lines, cheekbones. He's very strong featured, chiseled type artist. And you got these folks down here fleeing, woman with a baby trying to get away. You got the big like citadel being destroyed, and you got Earth was his mother, but Mars was home. John Hunter of the Marsmen. You like that? So this is like a book of reprints. I mean, it's an original, obviously, Fiction House, Man of Mars, Golden Age book, but in it contained, I think it only has like 1 original story maybe, and the rest are all reprinted from other comics. And then look at that. You think it's like a planet, but it's not. That's no moon. That's a space station. Check that out. Very cool. So they have these reprints, and this actually has been reprinted again. So this is a 1 of 1. This is like Man of Mars #1, but there are no more in this run. So I really like picking up any kind of Golden Age one shot. Like that's like, yeah, you know, because when I think about being a Golden Age completist, and I try not to be, but at the same time it gets exciting to try and complete runs. When I come across a one shot, man, that catapults to the top of the list, because if I can find it, I can be done with that title, and I have it, and I've got all that there was. And so there you go. So Golden Age one shots, you gotta love them. Look at that. This is a tough book to find in good color and condition. I'm here to tell you, this is not a book that comes up very often, and when it does, it's usually absolutely destroyed. So paid up for that one. You know, full disclosure, I got a good deal. It was well below market value, but still, it was a hurting on the pocketbook, but it was worth it. So there you go. That's my big, huge Golden Age haul. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I tell you, this has been a huge year for it. I got Heroes Con coming up at the end of this week. We got all kinds of good content coming out. I got stacks and stacks of books to show you all. I've been picking up all year, and certainly in the last few months since I was more active. So this is going to be great. Sit back, relax, enjoy some comics, and we'll see you next time in Bub's World. Remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.
Now subscribe, you egg-sucking pieces of gutter trash. Now.